Hello everyone and welcome to Co-op Career. I'm sorry for not releasing a video sooner, but we are in China. I'm Coco's lines at my first qualifying lap, which puts me fastest on a 37.1, but there's still plenty of time in the bag, which I pulled out later on in the session by doing a 36.6, although there's even more time to be found, but I didn't have time to set another lap. But I was pointing this out earlier on in the session, because just when I started, let my teammate pass, then Weber smashes into the back of me, which was interesting to say the least. He lost his front wing, nothing happened to me though, and I qualified in 5th place, and my teammate down in 10th, but I think he qualified on the prime tyres, or I think. But as you can see, I was a bit disappointed in my person. I think the team were expecting me to be in the top 3, but unfortunately I couldn't quite make it, but that's what China's like. I made a mistake at the hairpin. But looking at the teammate challenge, I am beating my teammate, and I had a quick look at the strategy, and yeah, I don't think that's going to apply because there's actually 53% chance of rain in this race, as we are sitting on the grid now ready to go into the race as we have the lights here in China. And we are go. We've got Weber and Massa right ahead of us. They've gotten away a little already, and Hulkenberg is coming out behind us, but I'm using my curves now to try and get a little bit back, and I've come back at Weber and Massa, but there's no way around the outside because Massa's there. There's a little gap between Weber and Vettel. I kind of clonk into Weber a bit, but there's nothing I can do there. And then Vettel, for some reason, follows Alonso on the outside line, allowing me down the inside and up into 2nd place, with Alonso still ahead of us, so I need to be wary of Vettel behind, as he is very quick around this track, it seems. On this game, and Alonso is my main championship rival. I'm not going to dive it down the inside here, but later on in the lap you can see Alonso's already gone a bit up the road, but the slipstream and my gearing seems to really enabled me. I'm up into 204 miles an hour, but I managed to just about get down the inside of Alonso. A little bit of a corner cut, but he's trying to come back at me, but then he backs off because he makes contact with me for some reason. But I am up into 1st place, something I wasn't expecting, especially after I saw him ahead by the first corner. But on lap 5, at the end of this first option stint, the 2 Ferraris had caught me up and were all behind me. I had a little bit of a train for me actually behind me, as my tyres were worse than theirs, as the Mercedes tyre were. It's historic. We're going into the pits. I brake too late, make a mistake, and it respawns me, and I lose loads and loads of time. I mean, I must have lost like 3 seconds to that. And it's now Grosjean, I think, behind me in the pits, or is it Suter? I don't know. I think someone's behind me anyway. But I come into pits on lap 5 to try and get undercut on Alonso and Massa to try and just keep ahead, at least for the 2nd stint. But we are out of the pits, and moving on to lap 7, you can see that I have passed a few people, and then Giant Verns has a purple lap time, and I go past him with ease up into 11th place. No worries there. I've got Paul di Resta up the road, who I catch later on in the lap, which he brakes really early, then I skip the curb. I have to let him back past, so I do. But then he has so little traction on those tyres, I literally just drive straight past him again. And I'm up into 10th place, back into the points. But I was leading, so I expect something to happen, although I did make that mistake into the pits. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But skipping later, you can see that. Well, actually, no, that wasn't later. There wasn't meant to be a transition there, but never mind. That I passed Perez into the hairpin because Perez braked really early, which is a bit weird. But then, as you can see, I move up into 1st place on lap 10. Some people going really long on those option tyres. They must have been absolutely ruined by the end of it. But lap 12, my ones were ruined. Alonso and Vettel and I are going side by side. Vettel's trying to go round the outside. I stick it down the inside, just about keeping it legal, I think, with the overtake there. And Vettel is now coming down my inside, but I'm pitting here, so luckily I won't be needing to pass him again, but he goes round the corner. And I actually go really cautiously into the pit entry, of course, because I don't want the same thing happening to me. As we go into the pits, change our tyres, yes again, we're on the mediums. Still no rain at the moment, but it's starting to get a little bit more cloudy, and just as I pass Perez on lap 14, it starts to rain. Now this is a really bad option for me because I've just pitted for a brand new set of medium tyres. So I need to do something really drastic here as I pass Gutierrez. I have a lot more pace, of course, with these fresh tyres, but the problem is that I've lost like 20 seconds. So I decide, the end of lap 14, to pit for intermediates, take the gamble, because it's the only way I'm going to be able to get anything back. Because if I have some superior intermediate pace, there's a chance that I could get back into the top 5. But it's going to be unlikely. but it takes till lap 16 to catch the car in front of me, Ricardo, which I just breezed by with no problems whatsoever. And I'm really starting to set some fast pace here. And as I go across the line, I jump quite a few people in the pits as they all pit for their intermediate tyres on lap 17. I'm up into 7th place, which isn't bad. Of course, it can be better. With Grosjean just ahead of me, but Grosjean, I think Grosjean's too fast for me at this point. His Lotus is just sensational around here, it seems. But moving on to lap 19, and I have Webber and Perez, but I've gone wide, and then I tap Webber's wing on my way back onto the track, and now Webber's going to go down my inside. But after hitting me, I'm not having any of that, and I'm going to go steering back down the inside. He doesn't leave me enough space, then a little bit of a tap, and then Perez is through, and the conditions are getting worse and worse. It's getting more and more wet, and my engines are getting older, which is a real problem. But luckily, the more rain was my saving grace here, as Perez gets past me here at the end of lap 19, and I realised that I needed these full wet tyres because my inters are just going. But I'm in the slipstream of Perez here, and you can see how much I'm regaining on people, and I decide to yet again just try braking down the inside, turning, but really slowly due to the fact that it's too wet for these intermediates. But I come in on that lap then, and for full wet tyres, and then I pretty much just hold position until the end of the race. And so that's a nice 7th place, well, not nice, but 6 points in the bag. My teammate unfortunately didn't get any points, but it's 6 points for Mercedes. And then the constructors, drivers, I'm in 3rd place with him in 5th place, so that's also an okay job, but Alonso extending his lead. Then in the constructors we are in 3rd place. But that has been it from me for a co-op video. Please remember to like if you enjoyed. This has been Alex, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.